Hi, everybody. Okay, I'm going to shorten this up because I really want Laura to be able to get to the content for today. But Laura is the president of the Gilmore Foundation, and she has led the foundation for our last few years. But since the inception, this foundation has given over $15 million to enhance the livability of Peoria, Tazewell, and Woodford counties. It was established by the late Bob Gilmore in 2009, and it has focused on enhancing culture, the arts, improving society through youth development and human services, and job creation through capital improvement projects and infrastructure development. So Laura, by trade, is an attorney, and she and her family live here locally. Her husband is Alan Cullinan, and they have 3 kids that go to St. Thomas. So she's a very, very busy person with her family, all the activities that they're doing, and this huge initiative for the Gilmore Foundation. So I'm going to just turn it over to her so that she can talk more about all the details.
Hi guys, I have a guest, our marketing partner is with me today as well, Megan Thomason from Samantha. So she'll be chiming in. I'm not a marketer and she can explain those things a lot better than I can. But I was talking to Kelly the last time I was at Rotary. I was in 7th grade and I had to present for a speech competition, which I did not win. But I had the same kind of butterflies in my stomach as I do now. So it's good to be back. Thank you for what you're doing. And Kelly also shared with me that 2 out of the 3 Rotaries in the state of Illinois are in Peoria, which is incredible. And it's something that we should brag about. She also shared with me that you have this luncheon every week and the attendance is around what it is today. And that blows my mind. There are so many incredible people that love this area and that are committed to seeing change and taking care of their neighbors. And that's what we do really well in Peoria. And it's something that we need to start talking about. All of the positive voices are going to be amplified. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Choose Greater Peoria, but I want to give you some context on what the Gilmore Foundation is and who Bob Gilmore is. And I also think it's very fitting that you talked about it being National Be Humble Day, because Bob Gilmore is the epitome of humility. He did not want to be recognized for anything, which is why you may not have heard of the Gilmore Foundation. He started the foundation in 2009, but Bob grew up on the East Bluff during the Great Depression. After high school, he went and fought in World War II, was a B-17 bomber, and flew 30 missions in the European theater. After that, he came home to work 3rd shift on the machine shop floor at CAT. And from that position, he rose to be the head of the company. And he decided to dedicate his entire life's work pouring that into the foundation, the Gilmore Foundation, which is dedicated to serving Peoria, Tazewell, and Woodford counties. This is our purpose, and Kelly touched on this just a minute ago, but Bob really believed in Peoria, and he felt that he was given so much from this area that he wanted to give back, and he really wanted to focus on the livability of Peoria. I'm showing you this list of our board of directors because I want you to see the type of people that are involved, and most of these folks were handpicked by Bob. And the beauty of these people is they're all intelligent, they all have a heart for service, they're all humble, but they believe in giving a hand up, not a handout. And what I think the common thread with all these folks and Bob is that well, it's the humility, but I've just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Let me go back to that. Key initiatives for 2022 to 2024. I see some community collaborators here in the audience. We've got Mark Roberts. We work with the Community Foundation, and we've been working on mental health for the last few years with Carl and UE Comp. An example of some of the work we've done, we increased the residency program, the psychiatric residency program, from 16 to 24 individuals. So that means there are 8 more able-bodied psychiatrists in the region to help with the mental health crisis. We worked with Easter Seals on a community collaboration with 4 other private foundations. Education and pipeline recruitment, partnering with ICC, we credentialed 60 people of color and/or poverty into manufacturing roles. Marketing, which I'm going to talk about today, Choose Greater Peoria, and sort of changing the narrative. And I hate to say that because looking out at this group today, you're all positive and we all are happy to be here. And certainly there are things that we can do better, but what this is aimed at doing is amplifying the positive voices in the community and celebrating all the wonderful things that we have. These are some key metrics, which is probably boring, but 36 collaborative partnerships, and I touched on that, working with Mark Roberts. We've worked with Carol Myrna and all the incredible things that you're doing for our community. We've worked with Big Brothers Big Sisters, 24 new jobs created since 2022, and 5 of the 3 supportive care programs and 2 training initiatives developed. So really focusing on what Bob asked us to do, which is kind of bolster job creation and development in the Tri-County area. So how did we get to choose Greater Peoria? Bob Gilmore had a vision to align the business community around one high priority need. So in order to amplify our impact, he didn't want Gilmore Foundation just going out and giving grants on its own. He wanted to get everyone involved, and he said, we want people to have skin in the game, not just Gilmore. So we gathered a group that was around 12 of the largest employers in the area, and we asked them, what do you care about? And they said, talent. We are having trouble attracting talent. I can sell my business, but I'm really having a hard time selling Peoria. So we provided an opportunity to rally the community around the vision that was expressed to us by the business community. So we brought them together, we listened to what they needed, and that's where Choose Greater Peoria started. So this is our collaboration now, and we're at 28 partners, which is incredible. So Gilmore Foundation is committed to matching the dollars that we have from the business community. And it's not just the business community that's involved now. We have the United Way, we have Peoria Public Schools, ICC, Eureka College, and then just last year, the state of Illinois granted us $3 million that we did not ask for. So we have the state of Illinois, the city of Peoria, the city of East Peoria. You have Mayor Call and Mayor Ali working together. You've got Carl and OSF working together. You have businesses, humans that are on other sides of the table coming together and saying, you know, we're stronger together, collaboration is key, and in order to keep this region moving forward, we have to work together. And it's incredible. These are competitors, and they are all on the same page. So touching on a little bit what I was just talking about, you've got, you know, Pekin Insurance and RLI. The sentiment here is that the tide rises all boats, and all of these leaders are coming together to work for the betterment of the community. Okay, so what is Choose Greater Peoria? I touched on this a little bit. It's a talent attraction strategy, so we're actually funneling resumes and candidates to our investor businesses, but it's also Peoria branding outside the region, and then a positive internal Peoria message. Because again, the businesses said, we can sell our business, but we're having a hard time selling Peoria. And one of the toughest things that we're seeing is there's that really negative self-talk here. People outside the region view us better than we view ourselves. And so our strategy last year was pushing media and materials outside the region to attract talent. And we're getting around 50 qualified resumes a week through our website, through our media efforts. That's 50 qualified resumes a week. We're getting around 80 resumes a week. So that, I think, is a really great stat. And again, outside of the region, people view us positively. The really difficult piece that we've seen is that internal messaging. How do we talk about ourselves? And so 2024, we're really going to focus on that positive Peoria piece, internal branding. You're going to be seeing Choose Greater Peoria all over the place this year. I'm going to turn this to Megan, and she will speak much more eloquently on the creative campaign evolution.
I'm going to talk just for a moment about kind of how we got here over the past year. So if you look on the left side, our phase 1 introductory message that we launched with last year was really, you have one life, live it greater, choose Greater Peoria. And so from that, we kind of divided our website and social media platforms and all of our messaging into 3 main pillars: live, work, and play. So all that Peoria has to offer: live, it's an affordable community. There's lots of areas to do things outside with the parks and whatever you want to get involved in the community. Work, there's a lot of career opportunities here. So that's pulling into that talent attraction piece that we're focused on. And then play, again, all the opportunities to do what you want and to get invested and involved in the activities that you want in Peoria. So from that, we moved into phase 2, which is more the testimonial phase. So we wanted real people in Peoria to really share our message. And so we worked with a team of ambassadors and, launched their message on our website and our social channels so they can tell really their unique story as to why they continue to choose Peoria. And then finally, we launched a more kind of hard-hitting campaign out of market. So we did some billboards in the Chicago area and other Midwestern geographical cities, targeting, cities more specifically and really honing in on what makes Peoria unique. And so really focusing on that stronger, impactful message towards the end of last year.
Local events and sponsorships. Again, last year we sponsored Red, White, and Boom, and today we're announcing that we're going to be the headline sponsor for Red, White, and Boom this year. So that's really exciting. We'll be on the radio after this. Yeah. And that's an incredible event, the largest fireworks display in the state, and so we're really excited to partner with them. We hosted and started the Peoria Tailgater, which hosted the ESPN Bears 1000 Bears Radio Network team here. So Sylvie and Waddle and Tom Thayer and Tom Thayer. I'm sort of a Bears fan. It was 1985 and I was 8 and I loved them, but things have kind of gone south ever since.
Wow.
But we partnered with the Bears, and that's part of it, not just this event, but we partnered. Choose Greater Peoria was one of the sponsors for ESPN 1000, the Bears Radio Network. So if anyone listened to that, you would have heard some of the ads about Peoria. Additional events, State of the City, PAR. I see some PAR friends here. Peoria Food and Wine Festival, Christmas in the Village. And I just touched on this Bears Radio Network partnership. This was a media buy, and we thought that we could reach a lot of people. And the interesting piece of this is, how many people are football, NFL, sports fans, period. That's a great reach, and it translates to young and old and, all sorts of diverse backgrounds. But it also hit our target market. So this, what I talked about out of home last year, this hit Milwaukee, it hit Indianapolis, Chicago, St. Louis. We had a targeted space where we were attracting professionals, and that was through our marketing team and partnership with Samantha. 2024 placements, we just had a meeting on this before, and I am so excited. I can't wait for this to happen here, and I think that the excitement that we feel is going to be translated. We're going to see it all over the city. There'll be some traditional media, and I'm going to let Megan speak a little bit more, but there'll be a couple of billboards, one as you leave town on 74 and then one as you're coming back. There are going to be pole banners in various spots around town. Community partnerships. We're working with the airport. For example, when you go to the airport, there's an information desk by baggage claim, and it's supposed to be information about Peoria. It's empty. There's one pamphlet on Burlington, Iowa, and one pamphlet on Atlanta, Georgia. Like, come on, we can do better. We've got a lot of cool things here to tell people about. If you're coming to Peoria, do you want to know about what restaurants are here, the coffee shops, the amazing park district we have? We have the largest park district in the state of Illinois. There's a little fact paper that I put out on your desk, on your table. But there are so many things that we can brag about that we just, I think, take for granted. Probably not this group. But again, it's this group, your voices, that we want to amplify. And then business conditioning, that's a marketing term, conditioning. But we're going to be putting signage in all of our investor businesses because that's an easy way to reach their employees and to kind of start building that goodwill and that feeling of pride. Am I missing anything or anything in particular you want to touch on?
I think we're just so excited for the Positive Peoria piece this year, kind of twofold. So last year we were focusing on that town attraction lens out of market, like Laura mentioned. And so now we're starting to see people come into Peoria from this funnel. And so, we want them to see the billboards and the things downtown and all the things we do brag about ourselves. But then it's also for people that already live here. I grew up in Peoria and I learned something from this sheet. So I think it's just a way to help us kind of brag about ourselves too and be proud of all that we have to offer.
Okay, encouraging business participation. If you go to our website right now, choosegreaterpeoria.org, there's a marketing toolkit that you can download, and those are resources for anyone here if you want to use them for your business. And we're working on a talent attraction and a welcome kit as well, and those will be completed Q1 of this year. Another thing I didn't touch on when I talk about collaboration with the state, with the city, with business, with private philanthropy, and the civic organizations. So the Chamber of Commerce, the EDC, Discover Peoria. EDC is an incredibly meaningful partnership this year. We have worked with them and they have hired one full-time employee to be focused solely on talent attraction. So it's a full-time talent concierge that is reaching out to the folks that are sending their resumes in. This is a big deal and she's doing an incredible job. She started in February, but this is going to grow into something more where she is a resource for our investor businesses, and the investor businesses are very happy with the job she's doing. So we're excited to partner with the EDC. That was a video that never works on these type of presentations. Creating a movement. How many here have heard of Choose Greater Peoria? Okay, that's decent. That's not great, but we'll work on that this year. You can find us on LinkedIn, YouTube. Yeah, can you go back? Sorry.
Yeah.
You're like, give me the hook.
There we go.
So these are ambassador videos, and some of our business partners helped us with that. But if you just like Choose Greater Peoria on LinkedIn or any of the social media platforms, you'll see that. And that's just a way. Or when you're telling stories or you've done something, you're out at the park and you said, I had a great day at the riverfront, hashtag Choose Greater Peoria. Those things just help create some momentum. Is there anything I'm missing on that?
I don't think so. Just, the more you can share, the more it amplifies our message. That's really key priority this year.
I kind of just touched on this, but become a champion at work, use the campaign materials. So please go to the website and download what we have so far. Utilize your personal spheres of influence. So we have 3 people that have been hired through this process, 2 that are very close to being hired, and then a multitude that are in the interview process. But I'll tell a story about one of the people that was hired. He was working in St. Louis as an attorney. He had gone to Bradley and was an intern at RLI. And we reached out to him because he had a connection to Peoria, and that's one of our strategies this year with the ad placement and the direct marketing through LinkedIn and Facebook, targeting people who have some kind of tie to Peoria, whether they grew up here, went to school here, worked here, and then moved away. But we found success in getting those people back because they know the area and they know how great it is. Reached out to this gentleman and asked him if he would be interested in interviewing at one of our investor businesses, Heil Royster. He said yes. He's starting March 5th. So really cool story. A kid that went to Bradley, interviewed at RLI, interned at RLI, and went to work in St. Louis, and then is coming back to Peoria with his skills honed and refined, and we're excited to welcome him. So we hope we have many more stories like that. Okay, questions? Well, yes.
We've got a question in the back here.
So thank you so much for being here. I have a question, but I just wanted to share with you that I'm a realtor and a commercial developer and joined Diane's company, I think in the 90s. And Alan and his sisters were young. And I was at the house many times for parties and have all kinds of stories, which I'm going to keep to myself.
Thanks.
But well, wonderful family. So my question is, $3 million is a lot of money. How is that being used? Why did you get it?
$3 million from the state, that's over 2 years, and that is being used in a lot of ways with some of the events that we're doing with the marketing work. There's a media buy with the Bears partnership with these materials that are being produced. Those are costly. So that's $1 million over 2 years. Excuse me, $3 million over 2 years.
Thank you for being here. My daughter actually was an intern at Cullinan when she was at
Oh
Bradley.
my gosh.
Katie's now in Nashville.
Well, let's see if we can get her back.
Good luck on that. I'm working on it. Anyway, so I was in the hospitality industry, and we had Discover Peoria, a big campaign that hit the Chicago market. There was a multi-year plan. Does this tie into that, or
Are you talking about GP 2030?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the evolution of GP 2030. That's right. And so we have been building on the good work that Discover Peoria and EDC and Chamber have done. The way we've been able to build on that is with a much larger budget, with state money and with investor money and with private philanthropy money. And it's not just Gilmore, there's other groups that are giving as well. So yes, we're just building on that platform.
I get the privilege to help just a little bit with this campaign. And I just want to say that check out the website. Please follow and hashtag on all of this stuff. And this marketing toolkit is really, really great. And it's available to you to brand everything. And how cool is it that if you go to a lot of the companies that are partnering with us and you look at their websites, it's branded very consistently with the same messaging, with the same look about why people should choose Peoria. And so it's something that we want to have everywhere. And we want Lyft drivers to be able to talk about this eventually. And we need to be able to build on this, but we want everybody that kind of touches our tourism and then is also, recruiting to the area to be able to have some consistent messaging. And it doesn't cost you anything to be able to do some of these things with the toolkits and so forth. If you want to get at even more in depth and you want to be part of the pipeline of getting people into your company, there is obviously a partnership with that costs a little bit of money, but it's worth it because these candidates, Andrea and I, have been able to be part of this funnel where we're actually talking to the candidates and getting them linked up with the right agencies, and it's really across the board. So there's that opportunity as well. So Laura touched on this and she's very, very humble about it, but there are so many things and there are so many business owners in this room and people that care about this that we can talk more about what that means to you and how we can work together. So
I'm glad you brought up this point, the co-branding piece. The business leaders said, if I ran my business like this, would you have a website? Would you have 6 different looks and feels for your business? And the idea is that the region, not just Peoria, but East Peoria and the surrounding, I grew up in Brimfield, so I would include that, marketing ourselves as a region, but that we have the businesses, we're all speaking the same language, we have the same look and feel, and there's that cohesive branding. An example that's always used is, how many people here have been to Mayo? I have, in Rochester, and when you go to Rochester, you know what Rochester is. And so, part of this is to have that for Peoria. What is Peoria? What is our look? What is our brand? What do we do well? What do we do uniquely well here? So thanks for bringing that up. And Kelly's been incredible help on the Gilmore side. And then Andrea Tortora has been an incredible help on the Choose Greater Peoria side. So I'm very grateful to both of you. Thank you.
I've got a quick statement. I'd be remiss as someone who works at a nonprofit and then having a table full of nonprofits. Peoria area is very unique to having a very philanthropic feel. And actually, I don't know if people in the room realize that our nonprofits make up one of the 5th top employers in the area, but not many people talk about it. But that also includes when you bring people to town, what services are they going to need? They may have a child who has a disability, or they may need recovery help, or they may need Girl Scout support. So all of this works together and not just those big corporations. So we appreciate you.
And we highlight that.
I just have one quick thing. I want to thank the Gilmore Foundation because we have been recipients of grants from over the years. Bob loved us, and we're just grateful for what you're doing to help further what we're trying to do for the community.
We touch on this too. John Morris always talks about Peoria as a city of gratitude, and he's right on. We are such an incredible community, and we give so much. I had the privilege to be at the opening of the OSF Cancer Center last week, and if you think about that, that's a $250 million center. $100 million of that came from here, Peoria. That is a miracle, and it's incredible. And communities our size don't do that, and we need to be talking about that. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps right now. It's people here that are one of our unique best attributes, and we need to start shouting about it and be proud. I think we're too humble on National Humble Day. Let's brag a little bit. There's lots to brag about.